All righty, incredible morning. Sorry about that. Right. One silhouette did not give me the not silhouette. Facebook Meta did not give me the notification, and then I had a message to answer right as I went live. So thank you guys so very much for joining me this morning. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? It's Friday. It is the end of the official work week. You made it to the end of the week. And now for all of my creatives, the real work starts. Because normally, like for the weekend, is probably when most of you guys get into like really either designing or putting together different projects. You have a little bit more time. So after your day is complete on your regular, we always say 9 to 5, but whatever time frame it is, you clock in, then you have so much more work to do on the weekend for like your business. So that's what you're really putting your all into. So that's where the real work starts. All right. So hello everyone. How are you guys doing? How you feeling on this good old Friday morning? Check in. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you are watching from. As you can see, we are going to take a look at some of the things that I have designed in Silhouette Studio. Just to kind of give you an idea of the range of the program and what it is you can design. So not really going to go through like showing, just like demonstrating like how I designed it, but just going through showing you some of the things that I have done within the program. But this, of course, is always a Q&A. It's Friday, so it's always a learning moment. So if at any point you have any questions about something that you may see or just general questions yourself, feel free to go ahead and post those questions. All right. Let's make this a good one. Make sure that you guys hit share, whether you're watching live or if you're watching the playback of this. Even though it won't be, if you're watching the playback, it's not live, you can still post your question in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer those. And there'll probably still be something in here that's going to be beneficial for someone else. So make sure that you guys hit that share button, share that digital love, hit the share button, hit the like button, comment, and help out the channel and the Facebook platform, the Facebook page. All right. So we got Texas in the house, South Kakalaki in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. All right, let me come over here because I was looking at the comments on this one. But I need to go over yonder. Incredible morning, incredible morning, incredible morning, everyone. North Kakalaki. And then I saw, no, wait, which one is Kakalaki? Because then you do have, no, I did say it, yeah. North Carolina, South Carolina, yeah. North Carolina, South Carolina, North Kakalaki, South Kakalaki, yeah. I did say it right. I'm like, what other, because no, North Dakota and South Dakota, that's not, yeah, it's Kakalaki, yeah. I know I'm not crazy. Texas, good morning, incredible morning, incredible morning. How are you guys doing? So, all right. We are going to take a look. I was just going through, and what made me want to do this, I was actually looking for a specific design so that I can repurpose it. And I was like, man, I mean, I've done this before where I've gone through New York, present and accounted for, Memphis, Tennessee. What's I have to say? Oh, but no, I was going through because I was looking for something out. It's like a certain element and I want to repurpose it. Um, and I was like, man, this is awesome. But I have done this before, right? So I've gone through like some of my things just to show, like going through my designs and just showing like different things that are here. But since I don't have a camera still, because my office is not quite set up, like, yeah, when we had a whole thing planned for Ziny Mind this weekend, we're not even going to do it because we're still setting up quite a bit of stuff here. Even has to sand the walls because I don't know, because that little wallpaper situation, it's peeling. So it's a lot of work to be done in here. So I still have no camera set up. So we're just going to do screen share. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And in between your questions, I'm just going to show you designs that I have done within the program. All right. And also, congratulations. I was a Timberwolves gave that away. So well, I'm not sure if you watch basketball, but Memphis did their thing. I love basketball. Mississippi, M-I, crooked letter, wait, M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I. Did anybody else learn how to spell Mississippi that way other than me? That is how I learned how to spell Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I. Incredible morning, incredible morning, incredible morning. Another South Kakalaki in his house. All right. Incredible morning. She's like, I did. All right, y'all. So let me head on over to Silhouette Studio. Somebody else said, I did. Yes. And New Orleans. All right. So we're going to go ahead and head on over. Let me get rid of this banner and go over to Silhouette Studio. Oh, well, I guess while we're here, this is our website. The link is in the description of this video. Shop.hsinc365.com is the website. So again, shop.hsinc365.com or even just www.hsinc365.com because that is rerouted there, as well. And here's where you're going to find our amazing products, our Honesty Speaking products. We have sublimation ink, sublimation paper, cartridges for the old school workforce, the new workforce, syringes, needle chip resetters for the old workforce. Then we also have my classes and things like that. Essential to Silhouette Studio. If you would like to be able to design and do all the things that I am going to show you, some of the things that I've done in the program, but all the things I'm going to show you today, and you want to really understand the program, I, urge you to go ahead and sign up for Essentials to Silhouette Studio. Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days. It is my 30-day training for Silhouette Studio, and I show you like how to use the tools and the functions. Like it's a true foundational piece for foundational training. And it really breaks down all the tools to help you understand them better. And it's going to help with your workflow and make it a lot easier for you to visualize and then conceptualize your designs in Silhouette Studio. All right. So visit our website, but let's get into the nitty gritty of it all. All right. Going through this, and I was like, oh, my cheerleaders. So you can see this is from 2016. This is actually one of my all-time. This is one of the first times I think I really challenged myself in Silhouette Studio and like use some of the like not so basic, like the common, not say basics, like the common tools. Because I created this part to where it looks like the words are sitting on the mat. Well, even the mat. That's when I learned the power of the shear tool. And this is something that is a part of the upgraded version. So you have to have Designer, Designer Plus, or Business in order to get that, that particular tool. So I'm just going to make a box here. All right. And so when you're using this, being able to, and I actually didn't even realize that I can do this. I was doing a lot of the ones like up here at first, But you basically, so I'm going to pull it down like that, and we're going to come like this. And now I'm going to pull it out some. So it made it look like a flat cheer mat. There we go. And then I put the cheerleader because that was like a regular trace. This was also a combination of some things because this was used for a totally different design. So I just made it a silhouette instead of all of, like, I think I have the one where all of the brats are, there's like cheer brats. Let's see. This was silhouettes of them. Where are they? Oh, here it is. So this will also kind of help give you like ideas when it comes to like designing and stuff. So we use these, like I use these like little images, and there was like a year when they had a lot of these on like jackets and stuff like that. And I want to say it was it in stones? I actually don't remember exactly how it was, but there were these images. So being able to trace them and then fill them in with our colors or really any colors. And I also added some elements to it. So like on this one, making it to where it was, it had the gold, black, and white because those were our colors. And for that one design, I just took this one because I wanted with one where their hands were up, and we just weld everything. Just don't worry about pulling stuff away. I just hit weld, and it makes it where it is a solid silhouette. And that is what's on this design here. This was another element that I did from a design. You guys remember when Housewives and Cherie was like, "Who gonna check me, boo?" That was a very popular saying. So I made a shirt that says, "Who gonna check?" Who's gonna check us, or who gonna check me, boo, or something like that. Our saying was always "dog check." And so I made the check with all of the paw prints. This was from the very first time I did a DIY screen print shirt. I showed you guys that when I was showing all my different shirts, one of my first screen print shirts, and I made that. So I'm always mixing and matching elements. And that's actually why I kind of came across this, because there was an element in one of the designs that I made, and I wanted to be able to pull it for a different design. When you have good foundational pieces, it makes it a little bit easier because you can just go and pull them and mix them and all that stuff. So this is one where obviously it came from a different set of designs, like the full color one, switch it up. This was in a different design, switch it up. So that was pretty cool for that one. And then this was like the mock-up that of course was sent to the parents. It was for competition. So I made our competition shirts for our parents. All right. This was my lovely 10. Those girls challenged me, but I love each and every last one of them. I cannot wait. This is going to be, well, some of them were 8, but some of them were younger as well. Now, when these babies here get to be seniors, I'm going to be so busy because every last one of them, I already know I'm going to have to do so much stuff for every last one of them. I can't wait until they become seniors. But yeah, that's that one. So we're going to shut that down because Silhouette Studio will definitely shut down on me if I don't close out some of this stuff. Actually, you know what? Let me see something. I'm going to go cancel first. Here is the importance of once you have your fonts, making sure that you either weld it or convert it to a path, because on my other computer, I had this particular font, but I don't have it on this one. So because this is still in text mode and that font isn't on here, it doesn't show up. So luckily, like for this one, I do still have it where it was welded. So I can't have that font. But if I ever had to like redo this again, I would not be able to use this particular font because it's not on this computer. Even with like their names and stuff, it's like that font isn't there. Oh, I need to revisit this. I was in the process of making this a full-on 3D. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, I gotta come back to this. I was in the process. I didn't even realize I was in the process of making this a full-on 3D letter. Ooh. Like, well, 3D design. Oh, I gotta come back to this one. This park, we no longer have this particular park. The program had more cheerleaders. You know, the cheer program was more popular than the football program, but the football program is what drives the organ, like, you know, which is what drives it. So we end up losing our park, but oh, I cannot wait to do this. I definitely need to do this as a full-on 3D. Look at that. Didn't know you can do that in Silhouette, huh? Make whole 3D fonts or text and just images and shapes and stuff. So, oh yeah. Gotta come, I'm gonna write that down. Finish Bulldogs 3D on 8U comp shirt. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I can close that out, hit save. Yes, definitely hit save. That might need to be a whole class. Class question mark. Also, this is a Q&A, guys. So I figured like sometimes you guys are really, really slow with like the questions when it comes to Q&As. So I figured I would go through designs just kind of like, so it's not dead air, but this is definitely a Q&A. So feel free to drop your questions in the comment sections. Okay. Let me put that at the bottom so you guys know that you can ask questions. There we go. A little ticker. So it is a Q&A, so feel free to post your, take notes, all right? All right, so let's go back over to here. This is actually, so I did these, and I have a football version, and I have all the sports ones. There's one of them that I'm missing, and I need to go back in there and get that. So this is one of the ones that I came over here for because I need to clean this up for an upcoming event. All right. Would you guys like to see what this was before? It was tuxedos and vest and all of this kind of good jazz. Hold on. Oh, I can be very, 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 very talented. I'm very talented, right? But I did not create the outline of the onesie. Okay. I didn't create the onesie. So this originally, we're going to go to my library and we're going to type in baby and hey, where are you? Because it's not called a onesie in here. It's called something else. Ooh, I actually have versions of these too. I need to find these because these were the girl ones. I definitely need to find these because I have taken these and I have created some like amazing like designs and stuff on top of them for a baby show. I'll show you one of the ones that I've done. I did it with this particular. Oh, okay. Put a pin in that. I want to show you this baby girl outfit, right? Remember this right here. And where is the, okay, here it is. Boom. Oh, it does say onesie card. I didn't think it would say onesie. So this was, I'm going to merge this in. I mean, you can, this is a Q&A. So you can ask, if it's a question related to like sublimation or like print cut or something like that, yes, feel free to go ahead and ask. All right. So this originally was like this card. That's how this started. Was this card. We're going to ungroup it. I made quite a few changes to, wait a minute, ungroup again. There we go. I made quite a few changes to this particular design. Are you still connected? Okay, no. There we go. I did not care for how small like the arm baskets, like the arm openings were. So of course I made that part bigger. Actually I made just the inside in general. This offset was way too big for my liking. So I made everything a little bit bigger to come where it's a thinner outline on it. And what else did I change on here? I added the stitching. Like, so it looks like it's the stitching for the onesie, which I don't understand why that one's not showing up that well. Let's see. Okay, undo. Oh, for some reason, okay, no, what is going on here? Okay, no, that was the wrong part. Okay, no, it is showing one. Why is it not showing up? That does say one. All right, I'm going to put it at 2 because I have no idea why it was not showing up as a 1. Okay, I have no idea. Anywho, but I added the stitching on here. And so then I made it look like tuxedos. So here, it's like this part I did draw out. Then we have like this part. So, and look, my center rotation, that's how you get it to fit on there. So when I was doing this, like it goes there and I'm able to make it like fit right where I wanted it to on the end because of center rotation. Telling y'all, center rotation is like the greatest. And then there is a little bow tie. And then of course, the shirt and then the buttons. But you see that once you kind of put this back over here. And it was a print and cut. So it's not a file where, you're cutting. I mean, you could cut these pieces and layer it on top, but it wasn't cut out like where the gray would fit like right there on the onesie, whatever. But these were print and cuts. So all I had to do was just layer it on top because no one will be none the wiser in how this was set up because it was a print and cut. So yeah, there's that. All right. And then the vest one was really, really hard. I need to come in here and fix this one because I actually need this to be kind of sort of like a cut file. So I have to come in here and make some changes. But this was like, if I were to like sell this file or give this file to anyone, like they would be so confused as to how to change the colors and move it around because it's like a lot of cover up pieces to this. It's a lot of cover up pieces. So there's like this piece, so that it cuts into here. This was before I think I really realized the power of like subtract all and subtracting all that stuff. So I'm just going to change this to a different color so we can see all of the little bits on there. I think at first I was going to do buttons, but I ended up changing my mind. Or all the buttons there. Let me see. Go back, Shakia, go back. Okay, yeah. So I don't know why there are so many buttons on there because it's supposed to be just these. So I'm going to change the colors of those so I know where they are. So now technically this little piece, I'm going to hold down shift, click here, and I really don't even need it. So I'm going to go subtract. And now this has that permanent cutout, and it's going to look like, it's going, it's overlapping, should I say. And even this part, it was the attention to detail, like how a vest is made, and then making this little thin line here. If you took my essentials, I made this before the little trick that I show you guys with the shape tools. This was created before that. This was created with align and edit points. Like when I say some of the features just makes it a lot easier. When I originally did this, I did this with straight up edit points to get it to be that thin and have that point on it, and utilizing the like right here, the corner, and making it where it comes in really, really tight. But the little trick that I showed you guys in the 30-day training, when it comes to, and I'll show you guys a little bit. I'll give you guys a little peek of what they learned in 30-day training. So I'm going to make a line, and then we're going to go and add like this, right? And then I'm going to add a point, and I'm going to push this out. Let's make it a curve. And let's make this maybe 3. No, not 3. I'm going to take it down. Thinner. 1. Boom. Now, look at how easy that is. But when I designed this in freaking 2014, 15? No, 2000. Let me see. My niece was born in 2014. So I probably designed this in like 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. They didn't have this little fancy feature back then. So yeah, that makes that so much easier to design now compared to way back then. And I had to do it manually. So I'm very grateful for some of the upgrades that Silhouette America did make to the program, because I can now design a whole lot faster than I did before. And then, of course, to make it like this is still a line. So then to make it where it's no longer a line, we go detach lines, and now I have edit points on it. So, yeah, life got in the way trying to get my office done. I had medical issues last weekend because I had bad migraines. So it's not necessarily a design class. I was going through the 30 days of designing. I will make up those days. It's just been really, really crazy right now. My office is a hotmess.com. It was a bad month for me to try and do that. And those were really like free videos. They were like bonus videos for those that took the 30-day. And I was trying to commit to another 30 days, but 30 days is really, really hard to commit to. And I was going to try it, but I mean, life and business got in the way, and they were free. They were a part of the 30-day and like those who are already in my program who pay for it. And this is something as a bonus. Now, if you signed up for the membership on YouTube, I'm going to get the rest of those in, so at least you can see those. I'm going to have to probably stay up and just do like a bunch of videos back to back so you guys can at least see those. But yeah, life just got in the way. All right. So I need to save this, because this is, hold on. I'm going to move. I'm going to move y'all. What the heck? Oh, I forgot I cut it out already. All right. So I'm going to move this. Change the, no, come on. So I can delete. I don't know where these buttons came from. I can move this back. I'm going to have to clean it up some because I have red up here. But that was like, this is one of the ones I have to do. And then I have to do some more sports ones. So we're going to, oh wait, I'm going to copy. This is one of my favorite features, going to my multiple undo. I'm going to undo all of those changes that I made. And then I'm going to paste the one that I changed. I'm going to paste that back. All right. And now I can save it. So we're going to close out. And yes, I want to save. Okay. I did my first stole last night using your incredible ink, and ooh, whoa. Hold on. However, there was discoloration. For example, the color is lighter on the top and brighter on the bottom. Oh, you mean paper. So I've never had that happen before. What temperature are you pressing it at? What temp and time are you pressing it? Because I've overlapped several times and I've never had there be discoloration unless you are pressing it at like 400 degrees for 60 seconds for both parts of it. Then that's probably why. No questions. No one has any silhouette related questions. All right. Let's see. What else can I show you guys? Okay, so I actually do a lot of stuff that I do is actually really, really simple. Oh, this is one of my favorites. When we went to, this was from 2017. Well, when were those? Where are those? This is from 2017, actually, is when I did this one. But when we went to Disney, I created our own autograph books in Silhouette Studio. So that's Makai Jeremiah. Oh, this is actually why did I say 2017? This is actually in 2016. I don't know why that says 2017 on there, but yeah, as I said, those onesies were not 2017. Those are definitely 2016. But I made the ones like for my niece and whatnot. So this part was a print and cut, and then all of the pages I just put this part like not without the registration marks. And so let's say I took like 11 by 17 sheet of paper, and I think these are cut like this to fit more on there. Yeah, so I'm able to fit like 5 pages on here. So from like 11 by 17 paper, I just cut it out regular, and then I put jump rings on here. As you can see, I ended up, where is the I don't know what the original file, like the other file is, because I ended up only doing 3 holes instead of doing like a bunch of them, because the 3 jump rings was enough. And then my niece's own, we did the jump rings for MJ's, but I think, no, what did I do for my niece? One of them, we ended up putting letting them string through it. And that was pretty cool too, just to have it with string. But we use this as our autograph books when we went to Disney World. So yeah, I've created those in Silhouette Studio. This is actually one of my favorites. This is, really, really getting into like print and cuts and like just really simple basic stuff, just doing a trace and detach and putting an outline. This is when I was obsessed with putting outlines on every freaking thing, like every freaking thing. So yeah, that was one of my favorites. And let's see. This is one of my most, like, especially for it to be early on, this was one of the most challenging ones. Go ahead. Feel free to ask your question about the paper. So, again, we were Bulldogs, and I saw, okay. So I saw this one, right? So it's this one, and it had a double bone in it, but I did not want a double bone. You'll be surprised that a lot of design, and I think that's how I kind of realized it. And now that I have a subscription to Vector Stock, I really, really, really see like the fact that people will have base designs and add other elements to it. So I end up finding, which is basically this exact bulldog head. It's the teeth, but it doesn't have the double bones. So I end up doing the trace on this one and adding just a single bone. And I don't think it's the original bone that was there. I end up finding a different bone because this part comes in a whole lot more. But let me see which one of these is, yeah, see. So it is having the original and then, tracing it. Then I had my bone there. And then figuring out where I wanted it to be. It does look like it's behind the teeth, right? So with this, it is actually an offset that's on the teeth, because when it is, I'm going to group these together. Oops, not ungroup. Group. So when you trace it, you don't have like the black, like that part is from like the background of this one. So if I just put this on top, you don't really get that look, right? So there's that. So I had to isolate the teeth, which that's what this part is. So doing releasing it, making a copy of the teeth. So that's this part. Oops, let's not do black shahia. So that's this part, right? So the other teeth are there. But I needed it to be like it was biting into it. So that means I need to see the outline to create the gap. So that's where we do an offset. And I increase it until it matches where the other offset was. The original designer, that's how they make those breaks. They put an offset and then they subtract it away. So I made it just as big as, to get to that line. We're going to apply, and then we fill it in with black if it was for print purposes. So I'm going to group that together, turn off my line color. All right. So that is how you get that look. Thank you, dear. Huh? Oh, okay. Definitely smells like a lot of coffee. So that's how you get that look. And then if I wanted to do this from vinyl, you would end up going in and I'm gonna ungroup this. So we're gonna ungroup and then ungroup. I'm going to click on the offset. I have to do this because I don't want it to be where it's all cut through. So you have to do it one by one. Hold down shift, select here, and subtract all. So it'll look like nothing's changed, but it is affecting it because now, see, my bite down has that cut inside. And we're going to go here, select the white, subtract all. And then as I get down to the bottom layer, select the black one, and I can just hit subtract. And that took away the offset that was originally there. And now we just see the original teeth. Well, I'm gonna, actually, that's not the original teeth. It is the overlay. first. So now those are the original teeth of the design. And all of these have cutouts. And then I would be able to weld it to the background to make it where it would cut off. It's a lot to do to it to make it cut as one, because right now the Bulldog is still whole. So if I want it to be one, I'm going to take this, hold down shift, click on, I don't even know if that's the outline or not, but I would click on here. Let's see, is this the full on? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to hold down shift, click on this and this, and I'm going to subtract all. And then I'm going to click on the bone, hold down shift and here and weld it. So now that is all one piece. And the bone is where it needs to be. Now I can release compound path and fill this in with color like I did here. Well, this one I think is still separated because this was a print. But if I wanted to, it's now set up to where I can choose the colors for the gold color, make my background black, and then fill everything in to where this back piece is all one solid piece and everything else would layer on top. So this was like one of my first like major complex designs that I did in Silhouette Studio. So yeah. I don't know if I got to figure out where the original is. I mean, the final one is. I got to figure out where Bite Down's final design is. I created visitors passes for my son's school. Oh my God. Whoa. That is a lot of whoa. This got to go back. Whoa. That is a lot of coffee. Oh my gosh. So this was basically just vinyl. And I had like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of coffee. Whoa. Can't do it. Got to go back to Wawa's. But okay, they turn the car stuff off. It was like these little clear plastic things, and them and end up like creating the design. And it was, the two, like the colors. I'm trying to make this bigger just to kind of fit around it. And there was also a Mustang here because it was for their school. So that is what, people wore around their necks when they came to the school. So yeah, I created these visitors passes for his school. There's so many ways that you can use Silhouette Studio if you really think outside the box. Think about the needs that people have. And when I made that, and they didn't ask me for it, how they used to do it before was like really, really bootleg. And I was like, yeah, this is not cool. So I ordered a bunch of lanyards. They come in a bunch of different colors, but I took out the ones that were white, black, and blue. And so I gave that to them, and they all came with like these little, like the little protective ones for IDs and like passes and stuff like that, like a VIP pass. Because their way was just ghetto. So I ended up like just going to the school one day, and I was like, I hope you guys don't mind. Like, I made some visitor passes because the ones that you guys had look kind of cuckoo crazy. And I was like, whoa, you made these? And then that's how they knew that I could make stuff. And eventually I ended up making the spirit shirts the year that MJ was in the second grade, I think. I did the spirit shirts for so just little things like that. When you're noticing that there is a need for something that you can do, something as just simple as vinyl. And I could have done that with scraps, or the number of the number of them I did, I could do it with like just a 12 by 12 and still had a whole bunch left over because it's really, really small. And of course I did I used my alignment marks to align them so that pass fit. Well, I don't know why this isn't cut out, but it was so it can fit like right there in the little groove. But yeah, I've done like little simple things like this, like doing visitors passes, and it's just vinyl. Doesn't have to always be something like grand and extravagant. Wait, why didn't you jump way down there? All right, let's see. I see another question. All right, so have you experienced the fonts changing to all letter O's? I have worked and selected, so it's not really an O. I've had turned to O. Do you mean is it an O, or is it like they all look like this? They all end up looking like this. Is that what you're talking about? They look like little boxes. So an O, no. I've had them turn into this. How did I get into crafting and designing? I got into this because I am stubborn and I refuse to cut up a baby pig. It wasn't happening. And I had already fulfilled all of my science requirements anyway. This was anatomy and physiology, was just an extra class. And I was okay with the frog, because we also did one in biology. We also did a crawfish in biology. But baby, when we got to that pig, who's not about to cut up a pig? She, me, her, I. She's not about to cut up Wilbur. Not going to happen. So I, walked out of class. Shakia, you gonna get an F if you don't. That's nice. I'm gonna take that L. Go ahead and give me that F, because what I'm not about to do is cut up no pig. And I was, educational wise, I was a very model student. Had have a little fighting side sometimes, but I was very model student when it came to them grades, child. And so my counselor made it to where, okay, Shakia, we're not going to take the F, but you can't just walk. I'm not going back in that class. They end up putting me in a the graphic designing one, because it really, for me at that point, that science was an elective because I had already met all of my requirements for science, because back then you can go to school in the summertime to take like the next class up. So by the time I had actually fulfilled all of my science requirements. So in the 11th grade, when I refused to cut up the pig, they put me in graphics, in the graphics class. And that just opened up a whole new world for me. That's why I learned how to screen print. I was making buttons. I learned how to expose, films in a dark room, like the red lights and all that stuff. So that class changed my mindset, about graphic designing and stuff like that. And I just kept going with it. And Photoshop and Illustrator and CorelDRAW, those were really expensive programs. And my mom didn't get it for me. But then once I was grown and I was in the military, I went to LimeWire and I got one of the graphic designing softwares from LimeWire. If y'all remember LimeWire, you know what I'm talking about. You have to be of a particular age to remember LimeWire and Napster. So I got it from there, and it's just been history. I've always been a very creative person, and to take that class really brought all the DIY and crafty things that I did. It kind of made this perfect world, because I can then create all the things I wanted to myself. All right, so thank you. I have laser dark imaging paper and Jet Pro transfer paper. What printer can I use that will be inexpensive and is good with the paper? So the Nina paper is the Jet Pro. I use an Epson Workforce printer because it uses pigment ink. Pigment inks are great because they are waterproof. So when you wash them, it's not going to run out. But I will say dye inks gives you a better color gamut. But for everything that I do, I like pigment inks. So any workforce printer, there is a HP, or is that a Canon? One of those, they have a tank system, and it uses pigment ink, but it's only 8.5 inches wide. If you're wanting a wide format, excuse me, the Epson 7820, 7840, 7310, or C7000, which is the 7840, except it's white. If you need lessons on silhouette, start with my Essentials to Silhouette Studio core training. It's 30 days. And it's going to break down everything that you need to know, like foundational wise for silhouette. And then when my bachelor's program opens up this year, but like the next round of when it opens up, join that, because every week we kind of go through like learning stuff in silhouette. So definitely consider that. You are welcome. I was attempting to say the actual stole was lighter on top and the bottom was brighter, meaning once you pressed it. Temp was 365 for 30 seconds. Should I tape the edges of the stole down? Could it be that I'm overheating it when I move? No. So I've always, like, I've done several of them where I have overlapped and I have pressed it. So if you can post it in the group for me to see what you're referring to, because I've overlapped tons of times and I don't have it where it looks brighter or lighter in one section, because 365 for 30 seconds gives you kind of like that leeway. But I do tape down, it down just so that it doesn't move. So yeah, definitely show a picture. So I'm not sure like if it had like spots or gaps in it, like if it wasn't enough pressure. I don't know. I really would need to see the image to kind of know what you're referring to, but I've never had that happen where one part was brighter. Not with Honestly Speaking paper. Make sure you actually had Honestly Speaking paper when you did it. Learn something new every video. Glad to know. I would like to learn more on how to do that. I don't know. I'm so far behind on comments, so I'm not exactly sure where that comment came in. If it was the Bulldog one. Once you learn you really have to learn the foundation. All that stuff is like great in here it's already gone. To see all of that and to do those different things, I can go, like I just showed you, hey, okay, you do an offset and you do this, but if you don't know where the offset is, you don't know how offset works. Okay, well, why did I subtract all 3 layers versus just the one? So there's a lot of different things to that. And you have to, how can I say it? You have to understand the program first. So before you can even get to all of the things I did with that Bulldog head, you have to understand the foundation. So something like Essentials is essential for you to have so that you truly understand the program and understand the tools and the functions. So if you have not, get Essentials. When I go into my next phase of classes, it's one thing, I'm going to break down certain things, but I can't go, if it's a class, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go through and walk you through designing something like this. We're going to trace, we're going to do this, and we're going to just offset. I can't go back through and explain about, okay, you're going to go to offset here and do that, because it'll make the class way too long when the focus is learning how to now design. You got to understand the program first before you can really get into designing. So my Essentials to Silhouette Studio for all of my classes or my programs, Essentials to Silhouette Studio is always a prerequisite. You have to have that. So if you don't already have it, to where I'll give you a discount code to account for that, it's included in the fee. You have to do Essentials. There's no ifs, ands, or buts with my programs. So yeah, if that's what happens, that is a glitch. It randomly happens. There's no rhyme or reason as to why it happened. It doesn't happen on the same font. It normally happens if you go through your fonts, right? And let's see. and you're just doing like this and you're going down, it just like overloads the system, and it eventually just turns into those boxes. The only way to clear it is to shut Silhouette Studio down and open it back up. There's nothing that you can do once it happens. There's nothing you can do in the program to make your fonts go back, because once you do that, any font after that is going to show this little thing like this. So just save everything, shut it down, open back up. And when you open it back up, it's not going to have this. When you save it, it's not going to have that. It's going to show whatever the last font was that it was on. She's like, I'm glad you didn't cut that pig. Me too. Me too. And the paper, it will look good with. I use Jet Pro 3G. That's what I use. It's the one from Nina. Jet Pro 3G Opaque is the one that I use. I wish there was a button to curve fonts. I get overwhelmed with the circle oval method. What do you mean you get overwhelmed? What? Talk to me a little bit more about that. You mean like you just wish like it would just arch, but then it's like you're limited, you know. I know like Cricut has it and you can arch it and you just do it and it just kind of goes around. I mean, that to me is limiting. I like being able to make it whatever I want. So if you're just wanting to arch it like how it is in who those people call, how it is in Cricut, you just make a perfect circle. If you hold down shift and you pull like that, it's just going to make a perfect circle. And then you just pull it down. If you're wanting it to go around it more, you just have to make your circle smaller. It used to be like in this version of it, it kind of sucks because you can't really change. I mean, for certain things, you can't really, well, this one is actually letting me do it. But for certain shapes, you can't really just like make it bigger and have it kind of flow. Actually, this one didn't change as much as I would have liked it to. But before, you were able to change the shape and it flowed with it. Now it just doesn't. Don't ask me why. It just doesn't flow with it. But with the circle, you can, at least with this one, it's allowing me to make it smaller where it's going to arch more around it. And well, no, it's not, because it's making it's making the word smaller too. Before, you can change the shape and it didn't affect the letters. Now it affects it, because if I take this off and I make the circle smaller and put these big old words around that one, it's going to go all the way around. Yeah, I don't know why they changed that, but I actually like having the versatility of being able to truly, truly customize it. If I didn't want it to arch this way, we're going to pull it down and go like that. So it's like it's flat and it's not going in a full circle. Oh, because it flips. I haven't grasped control of it yet. It is best when you're doing this to be zoomed in. I find that a lot of times, especially when I'm doing one-on-ones or when I'm in my sessions and people share their screen, you guys are trying to design like way the heck out here. For something like that, like just click on your zoom and zoom into it. You can easily zoom in and out once you learn how to use the zoom functions. But get in there so that way it doesn't like flip. So you're probably having it like go down this way. Here's a rule of thumb, right? With controlling it. If you move your mouse up, it's going to either attach it or like flip it if you're moving up and down. And when you're trying to go around something, although it is like, oh, when you're thinking, okay, I need to move my mouse to go around this. Try not to, until you get to the end, and then you come down, and then you're moving over. So you should be, and try not to go too fast. So you should be moving over, and only once you get here towards the end, and you notice and you'll see where that's at, then you have to start to move like up. But if you ever move your mouse up and down, yes, you're going to detach it. So as you're going around it, move side to side, only start to move down. And you actually should be moving more of like an oval instead of going straight down, because if you go down, you're going to detach it. To make it go inside of the circle, you just push up. That's it. So when it's you pull it down, it's to the outside. You want it to go to the inside, you just pull it down. Oops. And for the bottom, if you're wanting it to go inside the circle, but be like here at the top, you use the slider. Yes, post a picture to the group. I don't always answer inboxes because I get too many of them. So post a picture to the group. That's the better place for me to see it. Or post up, or at least make a post in the group and tag me and let me know you sent me a message, because I end up with a bunch of messages. I don't get to always check them all. And how do you remove the mat from the screen? Turn your machine to off. So if you don't want to see this well, you can go take your machine to none. I mean, take your mat to none. You can do that too. But if it is on and you take machine to none, it gets rid of the mat. Or just go to cutting mat, none. Either one will work. I'm going to do a large print design for a birthday in July, August. Bluey word party characters. I will review your instructions prior to starting. Do I need to purchase large laminating sheets? Okay, wait, what are you trying to make? You just said a large print. What is it that you're trying to make exactly? And are you trying to sublimate something? Or you just want to print it on a regular printer and laminate it for protection? How do I get training on the cheerleading design? What do you mean as far as, so that 3D, you mean the 3D part that I was talking about? I'm not really doing that anytime soon as far as like the 3D, but just how I laid it down. I don't have a class like for something like that specifically. But when I'm talking about like in my 30-day training, when I go over the shear tool, that gives you that concept. And I showed it in this one where you just use the shear, and that's how I laid it down. As far as the words, again, it's still the shear tool. I typed it out. I used that to pull it down to make it look like it's sitting on top of the mat. And then the rest of it is the things that you naturally do when it comes to designing. So that gap was an offset, made that into a compound path. It's like two offsets, and then the outside ones, you make that a compound path. And then I created the breaks for the lines in there. So you have to understand the program. I can go through and I can show you exactly how I did that, and it'll help you for the moment for that particular design, but it doesn't help you learn how to create your own. It's understanding how graphic design works is the, like, be free in how you design. But I don't have a class specifically for that one. And for that 3D part, I just realized that I left it off. So it started off as as two offsets, like one in front of the other. And then I was in the process of drawing the boxes, and it's all about shading. So for something like that, it's not just the techniques of it. It's about knowing the colors and how light is supposed to hit the design to make it look like a 3D, which is why the front part was a lighter gold and the back part was a darker gold, because it's the shadows, and that's what helps give you that 3D look. Oh, wow. We have been at an hour, and I feel like I haven't really gotten through that many like designs, but we're at an hour already. Oh, ooh, excuse me. So this was me working on it, and then this one right here says bite down, cut. So see, this was the final one, and all those pieces are cut out. And this was like me showing the different like layers of it to be able to put it back on there. But this was the actual cut file for this one. And the shirt was, so I ended up putting an offset on it because I didn't need the black. So by putting an additional offset and then making that a compound path, when I put it on the black shirt filled in all of the black areas. Because without it, you would just see, so let's say if I'm going to send this to the back, I'm going to remove the black part. Oh, come on. There we go. So it's not the same, like you don't get the outline. You just get, you get the black filled in for everything else, but you don't see the outline of the bone, which, this still isn't bad to just remove the black and have it show through. That's why you have to go through those things where you subtract so that the face is open right here and it's the black of the shirt. But I wanted you to see everything, so I added the outline so that you can see it. So on this one, we click on the black and the word, I'm going to click on the word boys. We're going to do an offset, make that as big or as small as you would like it. Hold down shift, click on the black, and I'm also going to click on the word boys, and we're going to make that a compound path so that I now have an outline. And again, the shirt fills in that part. Foam board characters. So again, are you trying to sublimate it? What is it that you're trying to do? If you're trying to do that, I don't know if you're trying to do big ones, like if it's just going to be 11 by 17 cut. Whenever I'm doing my cutouts, I don't use laminate. I use quality paper, and I use my Workforce printer, and I just print them regular, and I glue them, like, I do the print cut on it. I glue them down like as a puzzle onto the foam board, and then I cut around the foam board. If you're trying to do that and it's oversized, you may not have to. If you're wanting to laminate the sections first, you can laminate them if you would like. If you're trying to do like when I did the pop, I did Chase, and I did him with sublimation, and I did I put laminate over a piece of press, like flattened out, like I heat pressed a piece of foam board flat, and then I covered it with laminate, and then I sublimated Chase on top, and then I cut them out. You can do it that way. So it all depends on what it is that how you're trying to make them. There's a number of ways they can be made. And that's up to you if you want to laminate. Now, if you're going to do sublimation and you're wanting to sublimate onto foam board or cardstock, then yes, you will have to cover it with laminate. And it is better to get the wider laminate, cover the whole thing, and press it. Because if you try to piece together laminate, you're going to see those lines of demarcation where one small piece ends and the next one begins. You're going to see that line. So it is better to have the bigger roll of laminate and work with that. So you can either get like the 24-inch one if you want it to be really wide, but then you're going to have to keep that in place and try and press it in sections to get it to your to get it on your phone board or your cardboard or your poster board, whichever one you're using. Yeah, there's a lot of ways. A lot of ways. So you have to narrow down exactly how you plan to do it. And if the laminate is for sublimation or just for protection. And you don't purchase large sheets. When it comes to the large ones, you're going to have to purchase the roll of it. Sheets only come but so big. All right. We are at an hour. Dang it, man. There's I wanted to go through so many of these. This was pretty cool too. It was a logo for someone. So arching and doing all that, making the afro puffs from another image and like doing all that stuff. That was pretty cool. The highlights in it, the bows, where her head was like the dot of the eye. This was a pretty cool one to make. Man, I didn't realize an hour had gone by. I don't want this video to be too long. I wanted to go through like some of the simpler things. Like I said, you don't have to do a whole lot for designs that are really like impactful. This was one of my favorite ones as far as memorials. One of the football coaches passed, and I actually cut it from vinyl and made a foam board cutout for them to hang from the tent. So a whistle and then wings on it. And this is one of those ones where I like being able to curve text, however, because I created the line for the wings and then I put the coach and then Buddy on those so that it could arch. And because if I were to just try and do text to path along the wings, it would not look right. So you have to create a line that basically follows that path and then do the text to path. So there are times where having text to path and being able to customize it to however you want, and it's not just curving, where that is more like it's more beneficial in Silhouette than other programs. All right. Let's see. Why are these not showing up? A lot of the things that I have designed has been for print and cuts, which I don't understand why this isn't showing up. And it's doing like really the smallest of stuff. Just taking, this is actually one of my favorite ones too. Like for centerpieces, I told y'all my tagline was DIY by a professional. So being able to just take crayons, like images of crayons, and the research part of it and finding all of these crayons like single by themselves that were high resolution ones, and then doing the trace and detach and figuring out the arrangement of them. Why are you flipped? Oh, well, I guess that is the way that it was, because that's wrong. Didn't notice that. Some of the crayons, I guess maybe it's the back side of it. I never realized that some of them crayon was written in a different direction. No, it's the same direction. Why does it look weird to me? Oh, but no, they are in the same direction. It just looked weird to me for a second. But anywho, these are all individuals. So it's not like it was anything major, anything fancy. It was taking just crayons and then figuring out the color combination and arranging them, being able to just rotate to create that look. Ooh, excuse me. And I made centerpieces from this. So it was just like this one. I found a bunch of images that were just of crayons. A lot of the stuff I did in the program was a lot of just trace and detach and arranging things, because I did a lot of print and cuts. That's the main reason I got this program, got the silhouette machines was for print and cuts. So just being able to take that and then mix and match it, resize it. And creating custom centerpieces and stuff like that. So I like doing stuff like this in silhouette. We're going to go no. And then where is the other purple and blue crayon? I think these were the cartoon ones, and I made them. Nope, the regular ones. Nope, so that's the regular ones. I'm trying to find the cutouts. Yeah. These came from the website for what's the place in Orlando? It's like they have a whole thingamajiggy, and this is like how the characters look there. So I got that from there, and then just separating them. Unfortunately, this is one. Wait, no, how was this? I think this must have been the background because I cut off. Yeah, I think this right here was just one that I used as like a solid background to piece everything on, but I ended up cutting off his arms. This part was one whole piece because I always use 11 by 17 paper. Okay, so I end up doing that as a print and cut, and then I'm always trying to find strategic places to cut things off so that it looks natural when they're pieced together. So this part was the print and cut part, and then pieces were simply the backing part of it so that it sits together. In my class for centerpieces, I explain where you have to make the cuts at for your back layer, because they cannot be in the same place as your print and cut lines, because it's going to make it very weak. So you have to strategically choose other areas so that it's so that they don't, like, those areas don't overlap and it doesn't make it weak. Tried layering vinyl, but still has an overlap. Did offset subtract. Should I have cut outline or just cut? What do you mean you still have, and it still has an overlap? What do you mean? When you, like, is meaning like it's not lining up once you press it? Not sure. Because I mean, if you do an offset, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean as far as overlap. And then did you separate them when it? That was a good one. Let's see. Is this the one I did for my nephew's baby shower? His cruise line? Oh no, this was someone's the Bethune-Cookman College. So this was fans that I made. So that was pretty cool. They sent me this and this image. So removing all of that, even to, I think he has a cap on, but you couldn't really see it. So I ended up making these for fans, and I think they put them on the front of bags or something like that, which is why I showed it like that. I was showing them how it would look on the bag. believe this is a gradient that I created myself. Yep, see, there is the gradient right there. So I needed to have that to be like that. So I created the gradient, and I'm just going to cut it from the word look. So once you create the gradient, you select it. I'm going to make it smaller and crop. So now it fills in with that gradient. Because that was the original picture they sent, but it was too blurry. So I had to recreate it myself. And it was so weird because this is like one of their colors, right? But then the head, which, why do you have a white outline on you? The mascot head and this logo for Bethune-Cookman College University, it was much, like, it was a different color. This is that these all came from like the internet. These are like the actual pictures. So this was one color. This was a totally different color. This was a different color. So in order to make them match, I had to use this and then fill it in with color. Thing on tracing. Everything on here is black. The outline is, so all you really have to do is trace the black part. So I'm going to go trace, select trace area, place my box. So it's going to pick up on the black, but I also do want the paw prints. So sometimes you will have to do it like separately, which on this one, I think I did have to do 2 traces. So I'm going to pull this back, right? So it's not picking up on the yellow. And I'm going to go trace. And then we're going to do a second trace. Just so that I can get the middle part. Release compound path. Delete that part. Delete that part. And then for this part, we are going to double click. I'm going to add so I'm going to close this off. And weld it to this, right? And then this part here, I need to cut away. So I'm gonna duplicate that. I only want, excuse me, this part right here, because I don't want it to cut out of everything else. I mean, I don't really have to do this part. This is like a precaution for me. And we're going to crop that down and make that a different color so you can see what I changed. So it would be this part. I'm going to hold down Shift, click on here, modify, and subtract. Wait, you know what? I need the opening first. So we're going to undo. I need to release compound path on this one. And all right. So now on here, hold down Shift, click on the outside layer, which I'm going to change both of the colors of that. All right. So that part, I'm going to subtract all. And then I'm going to click on this part again, hold down Shift, click on the middle part, and I'm going to hit subtract on that. That's the outside part and the inside part, because without it, we don't get both of them. Oh, you know what? Nope, I need to cut this part out. So let's delete this. There we go. Now it's cut out. And then I can release compound path, make this part black, send it to the back. I don't need this piece. We're going to send all of this to the back. There we go. And now the outline becomes, I'm just going to make it the same color. And we're going to group that. Send that to the back. Oh, I didn't need this part. I already had it. Okay, perfect. And then all of this part becomes this color, group, and then compound path, that became the gold, and then wildcat. I need this to be back so I can cut it, right? I'm just going to take a box, put it over it, and weld so that I can make this part do that again. Send it to the back, hold down shift, click on wildcat, and crop. There we go. Ooh, I forgot about that little piece. Ooh, I didn't have to do that. So we're just going to click here and we're going to crop. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's okay. Crop. There we go. Group it together. And this little piece should be mixed in with there. So yeah, that is how I recreated that to be able to change it from this color to these colors. And it matched, everything matched a little bit more because this did not match into thing. Didn't match anything. It matched this over here, but it didn't match anything else. So I had to change it so that it matched the way his name, the way that one was. So yeah, this is actually one of my favorite designs to do as well. They have ads now. Oh, it's showing an ad in the middle of the live video. I didn't know it did it in the middle of the video. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hey. Thank you. I was doing a decal and wanted to put color font on top of black, but wanted both to touch the item. So yeah, subtract all should have taken care of that. So like, let's say I'm just going to release compound path on this, hold down shift. I'm just going to make all of this part white, right? I'm going to make it a compound path. So let's say this was what you're wanting, right? And right now it is layered right on top. I guess is what you mean as far as overlapping. If you hold down shift and select here and you go subtract all, it's going to make it where it's not. So when you pulled it away, if you did not see an opening, then it did not actually subtract. Then that's when you undo, put it back on top, and then you hit subtract all again. But when you separate it, if you don't see the cutout, it didn't do it. So that's how you kind of do your checks and balances to make sure that the action actually worked, is to separate them and you're looking for that gap. All right. So it's the only thing I can think of if you're saying like the background was still solid when it cut. But when I cut the top layer, it still had overlap. Then it didn't cut out. I mean, because this would be the top layer. So it should fit in there like a puzzle. So if you saw the cutouts of it, then this should fit right in there like a puzzle. Only thing I can say is, I mean, drop a picture. Questions like that, guys, this is why I have groups. I don't utilize my group as this, like, I mean, at this exclusive community. It's the best place for you guys to go in and post your questions where you can show pictures. I like YouTube, but you can't share pictures and comments on YouTube. So I create Facebook groups to be able to help you guys. So you can post it. You're enrolled in my 30-day training, so you can post it in the 30-day training group, or you can post it to my regular Learn with the Professor, like my free silhouette group, any of those, because I need to see what happened in order to get, like, I can go and call off 1,000 different scenarios and it might not be what happened with yours. So pictures are great for things like that. Let's see. All right, we're going to close this one out. Let me see. My Abby cut out. Let me see how many pieces is this. Oh, these are all just single. These are all single cuts. But sometimes, yeah, nothing else to it. No words, nothing like that. Just getting the characters and cutting them out and doing print and cuts on 11 by 17 paper or 12 by 18 paper just for a cutout. So, let's see. I don't know why it's not showing me the preview. Why is it not showing me the previews? I've done logos. So you definitely can create professional logos in Silhouette Studio. So this is one of the logos that I created all in Silhouette Studio. The full logo and then the icon. That was on the front of the shirt, and then this was on the back. I am trying to see. There is the Union Divas, but I don't think it has the fonts. Yeah, I got to figure out some fonts. But, man, she's been asking for this for the longest. I now just have to choose different fonts. Okay, I need to keep this one on my screen because they've been asking me about this for the longest, but I couldn't find the files and I don't know the fonts on it. So I have to recreate it in different fonts. I need to keep this one up. That's one. Ooh, Lord, look at God. Excuse me. I showed you guys a little bit of my Piper's Bangles one before. That was pretty cool. Kristen Invite. What was this? I don't remember what this one was. It's something from my niece, but I don't remember what it is because LOL, they went to Disney World. Oh, child, I had a whole lot going on this one. I don't think I ever actually finished it. Oh, this was the decoder one. Okay, that's why. I created, this was so crazy, right? Because, so Not sure if you know like about if you ever remember like getting like little toys and stuff, and it has like the decoder, and there's like a red film that goes over it, and then it allows you to kind of see what's there. Okay, I have to hold on one second. I gotta um hold on. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Goodness. I just had to fix something on here first. Okay. All right. So basically you end up having like a bunch of pink things, and then your words, like your like the text that you want on there, you put it in blue. So when this was done, this is on here like this. And is it grouped together? Okay, group. I'm going to send it to the back. So I have to click on the outline and then this pink part here. Nope, I'm not selecting that. All right, let me see. Okay, so there's this whole piece. I'm going to send this to the back. No. Oh, dang, I did a lot of stuff to get this one to work. Oh, and I need to click on my text and send that to the back. Oh, I did this. Oh, this is a pretty good one. Okay. So you're supposed to hide it in the background. Like technically you can still see it, but excuse me, it's supposed to be difficult to see. And then when you put the red film over it, it makes it where you can read it. So I created this little thing, and then like they put the red film, and that's how they saw the information for what was supposed to be her party, but they end up going to Disney World this year instead. So I end up all this work that I did for this, I end up putting it on her, like her chip, I mean her bubbles, her goodie bag and stuff like that. But I didn't realize, like, okay, let's break down this design real quick, right? Um, it's actually in sections. This pattern was like they only had a small portion of it, but I didn't want to make it like a lot of people will do this, and this grinds my gears. So let's say they need to fill in this area, they're going to take this and they're going to stretch it. Well, you see what happens when you stretch it? It's no longer small dots. So I took that and I just duplicated it several times. So then they're like, oh, this is the actually the top of this part. So this is the way that this was the original one. I actually remember buying this from Etsy now. So this was the original bottom piece. So just like that, right? Or should I say this one was the original bottom piece. But I needed it to be bigger because of the invitation. Like I needed it to be a full invitation size. So we take a box, and there's like a natural break right in here, right? So between these dots and where these are, it's like a natural like little break in there. I'm going to duplicate this. So hold down Alt, click in front, hold down Shift, click on the box and crop that, right? So then I just duplicate it up. Now it's a pattern that repeats itself. This is kind of weird right here because it's cut off. So we just bring this part down until that pattern, I think it was, how did I do this to me? Because I think this has to come way down here where the pattern actually repeats itself or something like that. It's like right in here. So that's where it repeats itself, and then duplicate it again. And then bring it down to right where it, like the pattern overlaps and repeats itself. That way I don't have anything that cuts off, and then group it all together. So that's how I extended this part to make it like the full size of the invitation. And then this is, I did an internal offset, made that a compound path to where it's a frame. And then the frame goes on here like that. And then I had to trace because this is all one solid piece. So it wouldn't look like it was in between the zippers. It originally was, let's just bring this down to there, bring this side down to there, and delete points on here. Okay. Now I want, like, so you can't make it look like it's going behind the zipper because this is a JPEG. So what I end up having to do is trace this part. Luckily, the part above it was lighter. So we're just going to take this up. Oh, I probably did a manual trace. Yeah, probably had to do a manual trace. Let's see how fast I can do this. Let's go to here and boom. I really only have to do one, and then I can repeat it. Why do I have so many dang on edit points? So most people will probably go and try and like trace each one of these, like manually go around it. No ma'am, no ham. We're not about to do that. So this part down here doesn't have to be perfect, right? So I'm going to take a box and go straight across, right? I'm going to take this one. Let's fill it in with some color and duplicate it and duplicate it and duplicate it. And now select all of these and that rectangle and weld it all together which I guess I should have come up a little bit higher on the rectangle. And weld. All right, what happened? Okay, there we go. So now, actually didn't even need that. I'm going to take this, hold down shift, click on my border, and subtract. So now it looks like it's behind the zipper. All right, so boom, there we go. That's how I end up making that. And all of this in here, I put every last one of these elements. I arranged this is not every bit of this. I individually put them and the question marks on. And when you open up the LOL, there is like secret messages that look somewhat like this. So I arranged every last one of these on here. This took a long time for my sister to decide that she no longer wanted to do a party and she wanted to take her child to Disney World. I was a little perturbed at the amount of work that I did on this for her to decide she didn't want no party. I was a little mad. Just a little bit. This was a lot of work. This is not something you find. I hand placed each and every one of these damn things. And then, I mean, all of this is just custom made in Silhouette. Even with them, like, you're not going to find something set up like this. Like, there's no file that's like this. I arranged. Oh, why are you so far over there? Arranged every part of this for this to be, I think this is Queen Bee. And then just filling her in with the glitter. Quite a few layers. So there's 1, 2, 3 layers for that. So for them, they look like they're at the top. There's another one. I think she was right. Oh, no, that's not. That wasn't Queen Bee. That was actually her. So that was actually her. And I think this one ended up being right here on the final one. She's here. But they're just hidden behind this white bar. This was individually traced out. So see, it's flat. You have to create these layers. So I end up having to get the zipper, which, see, there's that. So I manually traced around this to get the zipper, and you put that on top so that it looks like it's zipping down like this. So this was a labor of love too. Yeah, this was a labor of love. All for her to decide she wanted to take. I was a little. I don't know why I came back to this, y'all. I'm smiling through this, but I'm going back to think about the fact that I was y'all see this little cupcake and this little pizza having to trace this joker. I don't know why I came back to this. This brings back a lot of trauma. I'm still mad at my sister now that I think about it. I'm still mad at my sister. Girl, you made me do all of this for what? For what? This was something from like their website, but I wanted it on there, but it's my own fonts. So I did not try and create theirs. I found a font that was very, like, it was similar to it. It's not quite like this font, right? So you can tell that the R is different, but it kind of had the same like line feel. So how I created the Come Party With Me, I traced their thought bubble or their talking bubble. So we're going to go like this, and it's going to pick up, and we're going to trace. And then I'm going to move this out the way, release compound path. I need these two only. Make that a compound path. Actually, no. Release compound path because I did black and then white. Group them. Send it to the back. And then this is similar, but it's too thin. So that's when well, first you got to make it bigger. And then we're going to go offset. Take this down to make it appear thicker. Oh, come on. And then apply. Group it. Make it black. Shrink it back down. So now it looks just as thick as the LOL one. When you're designing stuff like from scratch, it's not just kind of a wham bam, thank you ma'am type deal. Like you have to create in sections and create each part of it and then bring it all together. So then that's where this came from. And then there's like another offset and then the shadow and all that kind of good jazz. So yeah, one of the ones right here is a trace of this one. Yeah. I'm still a little perturbed with my sister about that one. Yeah, I can't get over that. I did a lot of friggin' work on this invitation. But it wasn't that, so I will say it wasn't all in vain because let's see if I can find the, okay, so that's Kristen invite, decoder invite. That means the rest of her LOL stuff should be here somewhere. Okay, so nope, that was just the stuff for the paint party. I put this on canvases for them just to be able to paint it. Oh, I might need to do a video for that. Let's leave that as LL. And I'll show you like you can press to canvases just to give you a light outline so that they can go in and paint. Let's see. Where's the rest of her LOL stuff? Ooh, I must have started early because then here's her honey bun. That means the rest of her LOL stuff should probably be somewhere up in here. See Kristen's birthday squad shirt. So, yep, this is the one. I custom made these balloons. This was for her 5th birthday. She's now 8. So this was 3 years ago. I custom made these Mickey balloons. And I'm trying to see where is her. Okay, custom LOL logo. I think that was her name. No, that was for somebody else. Birthday squad. Where is her, like her bubbles, her bag, canvas prints? Oh, Kristen Takeover. There we go. And so it wasn't like a total waste because she didn't do, so I just repurposed it and I used it for her bags, like little gift bags that they made. I used it for that. And the same little balloons that are here, I put those. This is where it comes in as far as reusing elements. So this is made to look like they are holding the balloons. We're going to ungroup. So there is a piece at the top And then there's a piece that comes out the bottom. And it makes it look like she's holding the babaloons. This piece here for the LOL dolls, we're going to ungroup. I gave them Minnie Mouse ears, and it's just an overlay. Since they had headbands, I gave them Minnie Mouse ears. Still the same element, which this is out of place for the zipper to be on top. And then this one is here. So me setting that up, was it a total bummer, like a total waste? Because I did figure out other ways to use it. And there should be one for the bubbles somewhere. Custom Disney birthday girl shirt. I think that was the one that was for Chrissy. Yeah. And let's see what else was from that party. Disney LOL cutouts. Yep. So I created from the bag. I end up doing cutouts of those same images. So again, just repurposing elements. So it doesn't. So when you're spending a lot of time creating, like that's how you get the most out of your money, right? This is something that took me a while to create. A lot of times people, you guys don't like to charge custom design fees, but this is custom design. So if I'm going to custom design something, we're going to figure out a way to use those elements in a couple different things so that it really spreads that cost out over like a lot of different things. So if I had to design this just for this invitation, I'm either going to make sure that I market it to other people to use it as is, and all I do is just change their child's name so that I'm getting more for like the time that I put in. Like to put that kind of time in, and let's say a client wanted this to be one of a kind. Well, you're going to pay me for this one of a kind design that I had to sit here and design for several hours. So you might end up having to pay $100 design fee for nothing, for something that's just for the cover of a gift bag. But once I went in, I don't see this as one whole design. This is a design. This is, a design. And I can now use these for other things. So I end up creating cutouts. I created water labels. I created a t-shirt. I created bubble labels. I created other things from these elements to where it's not all in vain. Like I can pull them apart. Once I did one piece, now I mix and match them. That is what kind of helps offsets the cost, because when they're ordering other items, you've already taken the time to design and you're just rearranging it to make each one look custom, but it's elements that you've already taken the time to create. That's how you really have to think about your custom designs. When you're taking the time to do something like this, try to get them to do a full on package to where they're doing like chip bags or honey. I said my niece loved honey buns. Did it ever come up? The honey bun one? So I did cutouts for her. I used, of course, those same elements that I used for those, end up going into the birthday shirt, and the fonts and stuff. That 5, the way it says 5th, is exact same way it says here. Birthday, same exact way. So again, just repurposing them in different designs. I don't think I opened up the honey bun one. Actually, I think this is the full on template. Yeah, that's not the one that's for her. Where is her honey bun? Where is Chrissy's honey bun? LOL honey bun. Oh, and then there's her name there. So it originally started out with creating her name, and then everything else kind of fell into place. And like choosing the colors, the fact that this was going to be like the main image for a lot of the stuff. So that's how a lot of this design stuff started, was with the LOLs, and honey buns were her favorite. So trying to figure out how can I create like little treats with all this stuff on it. That's how this originally started. And then it turned into all the other stuff. Let's see. I think this is the LOL Kristen. Oh no, that's just her. That's just her images that my sister sent me for. And so this was before remove. Oh shoot. This was before remove.bg. I manually traced around her. At first, I was going to just try and fit her in like that. I even had to create. So let me show you how far this design went. This is way before remove.bg. I had to create what looks like beads so that I could actually have the defined areas, because there would be no way for me to remove this and then go piece by piece. So I did these little pieces here. I welded them together so that when I went through it, like I manually traced all the way around here. And so I can get this area, I put that there, and then I welded it so that it looks like the beads. That's how I had to do that. Like I manually traced each and every one of these. Yep, and see here, it's all like I created the bead look so that I can trace it. I'm going to kind of show you a little bit how that's done. I'm going to Okay. I mean, of course, it's already like done. But so what I do is, like, what I did was when I trace this, like, and get around all of this, like, you can see her beads actually came out further than that. So I'm not going to try and get all of those little pieces, like trying to manually go around it. It's a blurry picture. There's no way that I would ever be able to do that. So once I had, which I'm gonna have to try and like, I'm gonna delete that, bring this over, and bring this part down. Okay, so let's just pretend like it was like how it was over there. These are all like the little bead pieces. I went in and figured out where I wanted it to go, right? So let's say I wanted it to be like right here, okay? I'm going to take her image and I'm going to pull it back past this. So I'll have her hair come right up to that. I'm going to pull this back, and I want it to be behind where those beads are. So that was like my little cover-up piece, right? If I were to move that, her face is cut off. We're going to undo. Now, remember, there's still picture there. So this piece, I'm going to just remove the color for now. I'm going to show you the outline. Okay, so it's there. And you can see where it overlaps. I just select it and I weld. It's going to automatically fill in that area, and it looks like actual beads. So that's how I did this, because my sister sent me pictures that had a blur around it, like a filter around it. So that's how I isolated all of Chrissy's stuff for when I was creating the honey bun. That was one of my favorite ones too. Let's see. All right, we've actually been on here for 2 hours. I gotta go, y'all. I didn't realize it's been so long. Gotta go. Let me see. I'm gonna answer some of these questions first. Let's see. These lives definitely put me in a great space. They are much appreciated. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Miss Griffin. Can I show a stole setup and design? I actually did one recently. And I have a whole and I use my template. So I did a video recently, just kind of showing the basics of a stole and just arranging stuff. Like I could literally take the LOL stuff and make that into a stole because I have all of the elements. So it's creating elements and then just figuring them in and arranging them on the template. But I did just recently do that last week. I think I was showing the template for it. So you can check out that particular video or take the class. Wait, what happened? Oh, the cool wrench. Yeah, she's a moderator, but she's also a member of the channel. I'm always in awe when I see you manipulate edit points, goals. If I purchase the with paper for the discount, is there an option for the nope, it's only 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17. You have to purchase one of those. It's not included with 13 by 19 paper. It's strategic. Could you increase, because it was just print? Yes, you can increase the line thickness because that was just print. In order to do a stretch one, you have to put something underneath it. So you can do the stretch one as long as your heat press has the clearance or use an easy press, but you have to put something underneath. So whether you put a stack of papers, I have this book that I like to use. So I'll put the foam and then I'll put the book underneath it. And then that way you can press to it. An easy press works much better than an actual heat press. And I love watching you create. Thank you so much for sharing. You are very welcome. But I'm about to get out of here. It's been 2 whole hours. I did not plan to be here for 2 hours. I got things to do. I got to try and finish arranging this stuff to get my office back in order. So thank you guys so very much for joining me. If you have not done so already, make sure that you visit the website, shop.hsinc365.com. Or click the link in the description, enroll in essentials. Like once you learn the foundations of these tools and functions, you can do all the things that I showed and so much more, because it's going to be your creativity, how you envision it, how you design it. So definitely consider enrolling in the Essentials of Silhouette Studio Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days training. I go through all of the major tools and really break down their functions and their uses, like their basic uses. And as you design, you're going to see subtract for one design, you kind of get different results. Or, thinking about welding something together. Most people would think just for script fonts and things like that, but we'll weld that to it and bring back that piece. So you saw how I use weld to create the defined beads on my niece's head. So once you learn the foundation of how tools work, how graphic designing works, essentially, you can now take that knowledge and apply it and create things. Hopefully these videos like this show you that it's not a one, like just kind of come in and just boom, it's done. Like you have to design in sections. I did that over the course of several days where I focused on the custom LOL. I think I designed like the balloons, then doing the custom LOL, doing like different things. So it's a culmination of a lot of different designing when you truly are customizing. And that's why it's really hard for people to say, well, how much do you charge for this? How much work did you put in it? Because I'm not, you can't go and it's like all you did was take a background of LOL and you just added a name to it, and you want to charge the same $50 to $100 that I might charge for a full collection of like this and like all these different elements. And you're like, well, dang, you got $50, $100. I'm like, yeah, but I custom, like I literally put all this stuff together. I mean, I wouldn't charge $100, but it's really worth it. Or even if it was a design fee of like 25, $30, I put a lot of work into this for 25, 30, and all you're doing is doing a background and a name. And you're like, okay, well, they should pay me $25 for this too. Girl, you ain't do nothing, boy. You ain't do nothing. You took a background and added a name. So it's really hard when people ask that. I get people that inbox me. If I don't answer in a post, they'll inbox me, Shakia, what do you think I should charge for this? And I, may not be what they want to hear, but I'm like, are you new to this? But it took me like 3 hours. Did it take you 3 hours to design it because it's a lot of elements and there was a lot of designing to it? Or did it take you 3 hours because you don't know what you're doing and you were fumbling through it and you were getting frustrated to try and figure it out? That's two different things. I can create for 3 hours, like knowing exactly what I'm supposed to do, but because it's so much detail, it will take me 3 hours to do it. When I did, I'll show you, let's see, file, open. Oh, Jesus, where is it? Because it's not in like the regular place. Is it over here or is under business? I think it might be under this one. Weird, like oddly, I think it's under the one for business, which it should not be. Where is Khalil's? No, it's not under that one either. Where is it? Where is Khalil's grad stole? Where is Khalil's grad stole? Did I move it all back to here? Let's see. Okay, that's the mask. All right, I'm just going to show this picture. No, I think I need to show the back. File, merge, Khalil, back, and then file, merge, Khalil, front. All right. So when I designed this took me about 2 hours, right? Because bringing in all of the pictures, as like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11 pictures where I had to download them, take them to remove.bg. From remove.bg, bringing them back into Silhouette Studio, tracing and detaching them, cleaning up any like small areas. So there was a lot of editing to be done just to bring in 10 images and making sure that they all ideally like worked, right? That took a good amount of time. With down, like as far as like it wasn't, I'm not gonna say like it's like the time inside the program, but they're sending you this many pictures, you got to download all of these. So going through how I do mine, have my clients send me their those, then take them into remove.bg to remove the background. Like I said, come back in, clean it up, like trace and detach so I can move it around. That took up a lot of time just for that part of it. Then it's now time to go in and put it inside the design and go back and forth and inside the template. creating different effects. This part here, I had the grad for something else, but then I had to add different elements to make it work for this. Like, because I needed it to be a specific size so that it looks like he's leaning on the grad. Doing this part, finding the right, I didn't already have all the elements. So, or like for the stuff for the school. So the time to research, to find the emblem, to find the mascot, all of that took time. Find the right Haitian flag took time. My background was done in Photoshop. So it took me about 2 hours to design this custom. There is no way on God's green earth I'm charging you $25 design fee when I had to do all of this. Even if I already had the background and didn't have to do that part from scratch, just doing the parts for this particular item took me time. For them to want that many pictures, that's why when you're going to do pictures, your $25 might include 2 pictures, might include 1 picture, not so much to have to download 1 or 2 pictures, clean them up. But when you have 10 pictures, oh, sweetheart, you're getting charged for the fact that I have to pull all these pictures in and edit them because you want every picture, or, you want baby pictures and stuff like that. So my design fee will be totally different for something like this, where I'm putting in so many images versus just 1 or 2. So I can't tell you, okay, well, how much would you charge to design a stole? What all is included? Because I've done some very, 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 very basic stoles, and I've done some stoles that got a lot of pictures in it, and they're small pictures, but each one of those pictures still had to be edited. So my fee is going to be much different. I have, I guess you can say like, not say a rolling scale, but like it's different levels to this. So how many pictures you want on it, that affects your cost. Those are the things that people don't teach you when it comes to pricing. My creative business students get that, but it's not a one size fits all when it comes to pricing out your designs. This took me, this right here was, oh, Jesus. And then having to like, everything else I pretty much did just in Silhouette, but like this particular image right here, oh no, I don't think did I take this one to Photoshop to blend off the bottom? This might be a fade bar at the bottom. That's why it's solid. Yeah, I don't think I took this into a program to fade the bottom. This might be my fade bar at the bottom just so that it blends and looks like it's fading off the bottom of the design. But everything here I think was done right in Silhouette Studio. This right here is my fade bar to create shadows. People always ask, well, how you use the fade bar? There's no one way to use it. You have to use your creativity. So I've used my black one to create drop shadows. I've used it to mask things off. I've used it for a multitude of things. There's no one way. There's a red fade right here to make the edge of the flag is faded off. So a lot of different ways to use those fade masks. All right. So now let me officially get off. But I don't know how I got back onto designing, but check out the Essential to Silhouette Studio to really learn the foundation of how to use different elements. And then you'll be able to arrange them and know when to send something to the back, when to bring it to the front, when to crop, when to subtract, and things like that. All right. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.